Hello everyone for OneWrestling.com. This is Bill Apter. Welcome to another edition of the Apter Chat, where we go face to face across miles and miles and miles. And as you know, last time I was in Apter's Alley, I plugged a book that I've been reading, as I mentioned, in the bathroom, chapter by chapter. And I've taken it out of the bathroom sometimes to read it too, and it's, you know what, it's been good in every room in the house, not just Apter's Alley. The book is The 3 Count by a gentleman who is a former referee for the WWE and a very dear friend of mine, and he lives in Ontario, right not far from the city of Toronto. Jimmy Korderas, welcome to the Apter Chat. Great to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I thank you for the plug, too, and I appreciate that.
You know what? This book deserved to be... What year did this book come out?
It was actually April 2013 it came out. 2013,
and I got a copy probably July of 2013. And why did you write it's a story that no one else has done, because here's a man in stripes, not a convict, of course, but here's a man in stripes who spent most of his professional career as the middleman in the business, because you can't do a match without a referee. And what inspired you to do the book?
Well, it was a couple of things. At first I didn't think there would be any interest. I thought, most people would want to read, the talent side of the story, stories from the road, from the wrestlers themselves. I didn't know if there would be any interest, with referee story or anything like that. So after I'd left the WWE, which was amicable on both sides.
Yes. Oh yeah. They love you. I still talk to people about you.
Well, I still love them too, and I still watch every week. But anyways, that's a different story. I thought about it. My wife suggested, she said, "You've got so many stories. Why don't you write a book?" And I thought to myself, but people want dirt. I'm not that kind of guy.
Neither am I.
I mean? I enjoyed my time there in the WWE. Obviously, not every day is biscuits and gravy. You have good days and bad days, but by far the good days outweigh the bad. I enjoyed my time there. I lived my dream. And not until I got hooked up with a good friend of mine, Ardo Cal, who is now Kyle Edwards.
Yes.
WWE. He got me in contact with Michael Holmes at ECW Press, and they threw a feeler out there and said, we're kind of interested. Are you interested in writing a book? And I said, sure, I'd love to try.
Sure.
They asked me if I wanted a ghostwriter to write the book, and I said, well, I'm not a writer, but I'd like to give it a shot myself. And if it doesn't work out, then we'll get somebody. So I sent them a sample chapter, and they liked it, and the rest was history. I said,
it's funny, because what you said is so true with so many people, including me. When I first started in the business, Stanley Weston, my mentor, when I'd write stuff, he'd tear it out of the typewriter, tear it up, and throw it up in the air and say it's garbage. And I said, why is it garbage? I thought I could write. He said, I can't hear your voice. He says, I want you to write the way you speak. When you tell stories, when I hear you on your radio show, that's the way I want you to write. And when I'm reading the 3 Count, I hear your voice. So that's the key. Where can people get 3 Count? Amazon.com, obviously. But,
Amazon.com, in Canada.ca, in the UK.eu, I believe it is. Australia, Amazon is really the easiest place to get it.
Now, when you're sitting, I know you, because you tell everybody who you write a column for at this point.
I'm de facto analyst now, a wrestling analyst. Let's put the quotation marks up there. Here in Canada for Sportsnet 360, which is the TV station that carries all the WWE programming.
Yeah, and whenever you do a column, you're generous enough to send it to me, and I love to link to your stories. You're really very up on the business. So my question here is that since you watch the shows every week, sometimes when you're watching it, do you pay more attention to the referee and go like, oh, come on, do you get on the refs?
My eyes tend to wander there a little bit, but I try to watch the entire show and the entire match, and I try not to be over analytical because I think sometimes we have a tendency not to sit back and enjoy.
Yeah.
And we try to, pick things apart. And instead of that, I try to sit back and look at it from a fan's perspective.
See, I do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, and I think part of the problem today with a lot of fans is they're forgetting how to be fans because they're so into getting into Twitter and oh man, look, did you see that? I didn't like that. Bam, right away they're on Twitter, but they're not as forward when it's something they see something they like.
Exactly. Well, a lot of people say people go on the internet, to bash everything. But you look at it, especially like Monday Night Raw. It's 3 hours of putting a show together. There's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly, but it all takes place in the ring, really. And when you break it down, there's some great matches. In WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, all the new companies that have been coming out, the independent cards. You're always going to find a potpourri of everything. So we just want to thank everybody for supporting pro wrestling, even though they call it sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, whatever name you give it, it is all the same industry. So, thanks.
Yeah. It evolved.
Yes.
So what I wanted to do, I first of all, while we're doing this interview, I'm not sure whether you're seeing this in color or I might have changed it to black and white. If you're seeing it in color, because of the lighting at Mr. Korderas' room there, he looks like an alien. So welcome to our planet. If I've made it into black and white, you can't tell the difference, so just enjoy it like two old school guys talking old school stuff.
I kind of like the black and white idea.
I may go black and white. I won't know until after I finish this.
Yeah.
So now, before we talk about what I wanted to talk,
classic movies.
Yeah. Before I talk about where where I wanted to go with this interview, is where can people find you on social media to hook up with you?
Easily on Twitter, you can find me at Jimmy Korderas, all one word, very simple, lowercase. I'm also on Facebook, but I don't go to Facebook as much as I do. Twitter seems to be the easiest way to get responses back and forth. So,
Shorthand.
Yeah, and everything is kept short, 140 characters, which is very simple and easy for me, so I like that.
Yeah.
And if you want to read my columns, they could either go to onewrestling.com where they could find them there, or
thank you.
Up here in Canada, it's sportsnet.ca/WWE, and just click on the articles column link, and you can find them there.
Now, since you, like me, watch the product all the time, I asked you, would you mind coming up, since this is one of the last interviews that I'm going to do of this year, 2014, might be the last one of 2014, I'm not sure yet. I said to Jimmy on the phone the other day, I said, you watch it just like I do, we're fans of it and all that, and we're also educated in the business. If you could come up with your own year-end awards, just a few of them, what would they be? So I gave Jimmy Korderas some homework. So have you got your homework ready, or do we have to, or did you bring a note?
No, okay. I brought my notes, actually.
Okay, and, all right. So let's have the category first.
Okay, and I think we'll name this the REFFIE Awards.
Which one?
The REFFIE Awards.
The REFFIE Awards?
Yeah, we'll call them the REFFIEs.
The REFFIEs. I like that. We could do this every year, the REFFIEs.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
The easiest one, obviously the easiest award to give out, is Superstar of the Year. And
Superstar of the Year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went with Seth Rollins for one reason and one reason only. There have been a lot of guys who have been excellent in the ring, excellent on the mic, but Seth Rollins, in a day and age where it is so difficult to be a classic heel and get universally booed by the audience, is doing a great job, I think. Every time, you talked about the business evolving over the years. Well, the fans have evolved too, and they seem to have gravitated towards the heels and like to cheer them. Whereas Seth Rollins has been able to buck that trend and kind of make it uncool to cheer the heel. I like that. That's
okay. So Seth Rollins, Again, the opinion of Jimmy Korderas, the man who penned this great book. I can't plug it enough because I love it. Picking Seth Rollins as the Superstar of the Year 2014. Okay, let's move on, Jimmy Korderas. Next category?
I tried to pick pay-per-view of the year, and I didn't want to include NXT. Obviously, this list is going to be very WWE heavy because, that's who I work with.
That's where you're focused on. Go ahead.
Yeah. WrestleMania 30 for me was the pay-per-view for me of the year because I thought it was a combination of not only some good matches but some great storytelling and the culmination of the Daniel Bryan story. First, that match with Triple H was excellent.
Yeah.
And then to top it off with that match, the three-way match at the end. And Bill, three-way matches are very difficult and can be somewhat clustered at times. That match was excellent. So it bookended a very good pay-per-view. And when you started off with three legends like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock, does it get much better?
Oh, I mean, that scene with the three of them together with the beers and everything, that was great. All right, so that was your pay-per-view of the year, 2014.
Yeah, shocking moment of the year, back to WrestleMania. I, like everybody else, looked stunned when Brock Lesnar ended the streak. That was the exact... I was Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone.
That was... And we had that guy that they focused in on, the shocked face guy. We had him here on the After Chat here. And, that was... No one thought that was going to happen that night.
No.
What a shock.
Watching it, after he kicked out of the first F5, The Undertaker, that is, I said, wow, this is something special happening here. And then he gave him a second one, and Taker kicked out of the second one, and I went, wow, if he would ever give him a third one, and when he did hit the third one, I gasped kind of to myself, and I said, I can't see him kicking out of three of them. And then when he didn't kick out of the third one, it was just, at first I wasn't sure, how you get that, oh man, is this the right time for this? And then as time went on, I kind of understood it. And you know what? It does make sense.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Shocking moment of the year. The Undertaker, of course, losing to Brock Lesnar. Got to say that the right way, or Paulie will call me.
Yeah, especially he gets my Best Talker of the Year award.
Oh, Best Talker of the Year? Absolutely. And a guy who can get on the mic for 20 minutes and you can still listen to him.
Yeah, unfortunately, I figure if I ran into Paul Heyman at a used car lot, I'd leave with two cars, not just one. So he gets best. I will have to. Here's a strange one, and I don't know if people will understand my point here. I like to give out the most underrated.
Okay, most underrated.
Say underappreciated superstar.
So underrated or underappreciated?
Yeah. I think I'll give that to, of all people, Randy Orton.
Wait a sec. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Yes, Paul. No, Mr. Korderas was talking favorably about you. You're welcome. Okay, go ahead. All right. That was underrated, you said?
Yeah, underrated or underappreciated. You know what? There's guys like Tyson Kidd. There's guys like Cesaro. I give it to Randy Orton because I don't think he still gets appreciated the way I think he should. Because when you look at all-around superstars, Randy Orton, and I know JBL says it on commentary a lot, but he's right. If you were to build a sports entertainer, professional wrestler from the ground up, Randy Orton's the guy.
So Randy Orton to you is the most unappreciated because the fans and the people take him for granted because he's been there so long.
I think so. And it's just the little things he does, the little nuances, the little things that he does are just perfect.
Okay, sounds good. Next one.
Next one is the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom Award.
Wait, let's say that again slower. I didn't get that.
Yeah, the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom Award.
The Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom Award, yes.
Yeah, it goes to the Bunny.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, I'm glad Kane decided to step in and play the part of Jim, I believe was the guy's name, who used to go out and tranquilize all the animals for Marlon Perkins there.
So Kane has become the tranquilizer.
Yes, absolutely. So,
and the bunny is the tranquilizee.
Yes. Who, I guess, 2 tombstones. It'd be interesting if he ends up being Pete Rose under that bunny suit. But
there were a lot of other people I thought who it might be. Yeah, some people think it's Shane McMahon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I never thought of Shane. I
never thought of who you said either. So.
Yeah. Well, he was dressed as a chicken once too, the San Diego chicken. So.
We may be lucky. Maybe it's a real Playboy bunny underneath that.
We could always hope.
We better move on to the next award.
Yeah, I think so. Match of the year for me, I'm going to go back to February. The match with Sami Zayn and Cesaro from NXT was just, for me,
yes,
as a wrestling fan, just from beginning.
Wait, I'm having an audio issue over here. Okay. So let's go back now. The match of the year from NXT is which match?
The Cesaro Sami Zayn match from February.
Oh, Sami Zayn Cesaro was incredible match.
Incredible match, and with all due respect to the Sami Zayn was involved in a lot of them. I mean, he had that great one with Adrian Neville at the
incredible.
Yeah. But the one with Cesaro was just it was a combination of old school wrestling with new school thrown in, if you know what I mean. It wasn't the smash mouth crash and burn style that you see in a lot of promotions nowadays. It still told a story, and all the big spots were inserted in perfectly. I mean,
I mean, the bottom line is it was a good pro wrestling match.
Yes,
really, what it was,
which still works today.
Yeah,
at least for me, it does. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, the crowd participation award goes to Bray Wyatt.
Which award is that?
The crowd participation award.
Oh, to Bray Wyatt. Fans out there, by the way, understand that with the Skype hookup, sometimes when we're recording this, it takes a while to buffer on the recording, so I'm hearing an echo sometimes, which is why I can't hear some of your things. So yeah, Bray Wyatt.
I just think the visual every time he enters the arena with the lantern in the dark. And all those cell phone lights, which have, I guess, replaced the days of lighters, because back when I used to go to concerts, I mean, we had the little Bic lighters, that we used to do, and I just think that's fantastic.
I totally agree with you. And by the way, you fans who just saw what I held up and are going to comment and say, "Oh, Apter's got a flip phone," I got this too. There's 2 phones. One day I'll explain why. Go ahead, Jimmy. Your next one.
Yeah, I can't help it. I'm still on a BlackBerry.
All right.
Yeah. Next for me, Wrong Place, Wrong Time Award.
The Wrong Place, Wrong Time Award goes to
my good friend Dave Bautista, and I hate to give him this award, but just the timing of his return. He just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think if he'd have returned after the premiere of the movie Guardians of the Galaxy,
would have been a different ball game.
I think, a completely different ball game. So he gets that award for me.
Yeah, I saw him in person in NXT in July when I was down there, and he got in the ring and he talked about everything, and he was so cool. He's just a great. I hate to use the old term, cool dude, but he really is one of the best. Go ahead, your next award. Where
are we here? The best big man award for me goes to Luke Harper. I think Luke Harper has the potential to be, I don't want to say the best big man ever, but he has the potential to be in the conversation at least.
Sure.
Top 5. He is maybe very much underappreciated and underrated, but the man is phenomenal.
Yeah, he is. He's really showing his stuff right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Jimmy, we're hitting the 20-minute mark, so we have time for like 1 or 2 more awards.
Okay.
Here.
Biggest disappointment for me is the Adam Rose.
They drew it back. You know what? For some reason, I was becoming a real fan of that thing. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought I thought it was going to take time to translate from the NXT arena to the big arena. That entrance was very difficult to pull off, I thought, in the big arena atmosphere. And I thought just when it was starting to get some momentum, we had the whole thing with the bunny, which kind of derailed everything.
Yeah, and he started getting beaten.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I was shocked. I was shocked. It really had momentum. I was really surprised.
And I know people say that in today's day and age, wins and losses don't matter as much anymore. They do. They don't if you're a person like Chris Jericho, or they don't
Exactly.
if you're a person like an RVD who can come back and lose a match and still be immensely over. When you're trying to establish a character and get the audience emotionally invested,
You gotta win. You gotta win.
Gotta win.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Do you have one last one?
One last one. Okay. I will give you. I can give you the feud or rivalry of the year is. I love the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins rivalry.
Fantastic. Great choice.
And I don't think it's over. I know it got sidetracked a little bit because Ambrose went off with Bray Wyatt right now, but I think eventually it'll come full circle as the Lion King says, the circle of life, Simba. I think it'll come back around. I think all three members of the Shields, all roads will intersect. It'll start at WrestleMania when Roman Reigns maybe is the guy to defeat the one who put the 1 and 21 in 1, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he's got a built-in rivalry with Seth Rollins, who is the Money in the Bank holder, and of course unfinished business with Dean Ambrose, and we've got a little bit of a
Of course, and a lot of people are picking Roman Reigns to be the one to win the Royal Rumble 2015,
yes,
which will be right here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice that I'm pleased with the reaction he got since he's been back. I think the fans have taken to him very well.
Yes.
I was a little nervous when he was off for a little while because sometimes, fans just tend to tune out when somebody's away, out of sight, out of mind. But he's getting a great reaction. I hope it carries forward.
Absolutely. Did you pick a Diva of the year?
Yes, I did, and I went. Contrary to everybody else, I went with Nikki Bella because I think she has improved the most of any diva over the last year. I mean, people might pick AJ. I like Natalya as well. I think Natalya is starting to develop as well, too. In the mix with Tyson Kidd, she's starting to develop a bit more of a character now. But Nikki has really improved and become like a total B word, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
the B word, it's a PG site. It rhymes with itch.
Yes.
So,
let's just leave it at that.
Yes. Yeah. All right, Jimmy, I want to thank you so very much for your picks here for the REFFIE. We're calling them the REFFIE Awards. I'm not sure how we're spelling it yet. I'll figure that out and put it up when we put it on OneWrestling.com. But you fans are welcome to make your comments, of course, right below us here on YouTube. And don't forget my buddy's book, The 3 Count, published by ECW Press, which will be coming out with my book in late 2015. So, and don't forget to pick up all wrestling merchandise, of course, for the holidays, and support all pro wrestling sports entertainment. Let's keep it going and keep the controversy going. Jim Korderas, thank you so very much. And point your index finger, if you would, to the camera. And we always say we'll see you at the matches.
Yeah.
Hey everyone out there in OneWrestling.com land. I just want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh my god, look at the sexy mama in that